I told you they were big. Hello, welcome to Florida Man Friday. It's a brand new segment. It's Florida Man videos always do well. I was like, why not make this a regular thing? I'm definitely organized and on top of things enough to regularly get out a video every Friday and definitely not on any other day of the week. Liar! Because of late publishing things. And that sounds like me, doesn't it? That sounds like me. It'll be fine. And I also like reading Florida Man stories because Florida Man be crazy. Hello, everybody. That's Kevin. Kevin wrote this episode. I read it. That's how the show works. Florida Man Friday is no different. Welcome to Florida Man Friday, the new weekly series. Double intro today, isn't it? That will run until you either get bored and stop watching, or until I get caught up writing a 4-hour episode for the Casual Criminalist or Decoding the Unknown and forget that I need time to work on a time-sensitive project. But for the time being, since you all seem to absolutely love Florida Man content, that is exactly what I'm going to be giving you. Yes, that's how I work. Like, if I see a video doing well, I'll make another one. And I'm going to make like 100 episodes of Florida Man Friday until you guys are like, fuck, man, no more. We hate Florida. We're never going there. Or maybe Trump nuked Florida. Who knows? Of course, I want to make things a little more interesting than that. There are a million different Florida Man stories. So many that it can be tough to sort through them all. To that end, each week we'll have a bit of a different theme to it. Ooh, I didn't ask for that. I mean, it was my idea to do Florida Man Fridays, but Kevin is doing it themed. Okay, let's go. What might those themes be, you ask? I wasn't asking, but I'll gladly take the answer, Kevster. Well, I'm figuring that out, so feel free to get in the comments and leave your ideas and requests for potential future episodes. Get in the comments! Yeah, okay, that sounds great. Little bit of audience interaction there, Kevster, right? Let us know in the comments. Link up. Actually, you probably can't link up because links tend to get YouTube comments marked as spam. Everyone's always like, Simon, you deleted my comments. And I'm like, bro, you really think I go through comments and delete them? I have like the certain words that I have, generally the words. Like if you read the words, it's like the filth of words that you are really surprised people say. And those comments are blocked. So if you use those words, your comments will be automatically deleted. But it's been a long time since I actually went and deleted a comment manually. It's usually just like people either just, I don't know, YouTube doing something. I don't know. I don't give a shit. Fuck your First Amendment. Get in the comments! Just before we continue with today's video, let me thank our fantastic sponsor today, and that is Sheath Underwear. Now look, if you're like me, you've had that lifelong struggle of boxer shorts just a bit too loose. Briefs, just why are they so tight? Well, that's where Sheath enters the picture. They have made perfect underwear, the most comfortable boxer briefs that you will ever wear, that I have ever worn. I'm wearing a pair of Sheath now, got a nice clean, in fact, I think brand new pair of Sheath there that I've never worn. We'll call them my camera safe pair of sheaths. And the system is basically, and it was a bit weird at first, but trust me, you've got these different pockets for different parts of your man parts. And at first you might be like, that sounds a bit weird, but then try it out and you're like, oh, I see why. It's very comfortable, isn't it? You'll buy one pair of Sheath underwear and then you'll be like, okay, gonna go back and get some more. And then the next thing you know, you're skipping all of your regular underwear and then you throw it away and then you've just got Sheath. As it should be. It's stretchy, it's got moisture wicking technology, which is perfect in the summer. It just keeps everything cool and in place. It's fantastic. Plus, they've got extra cooling materials like bamboo and mesh for those hotter summer days. And ladies, they've got a brand new bamboo line just for you as well. So head over to sheathunderwear.com and use the promo code BLAZE and you'll get 20% off your order. That's sheathunderwear.com, promo code BLAZE for 20% off. Huge thank you to Sheath for sponsoring. And now back to it. For now, though, it's time to kick off Florida Man Friday. Gator edition. Florida Man uses baby gator to shotgun a drink. Is shotgunning a drink where you just like, and then you pound it all in one? Or is that the one where you make the hole at the bottom and then you pound it down like that? I always saw American movies when I was a kid, and I thought, like, as a young adult, like university age, I was like, dude, what is with this funnel thing? I've seen Americans do funneling, where you get like a straw, you attach it to a funnel, and then you pour the drink in the top and you drink it out the funnel. I'm like, what possible advantage can this have? So I made one out of an old funnel I found and a dirty piece of hose that had been sitting in my parents' garage. Cleaned that shit out, and I was like, okay. Took it to my mate's house, and I was like, you want to try this? And he's like, dude, is that a funnel? I'm like, yes, it is. And I didn't realize, but somehow, like, having the beer so far above and then holding your thumb over it and then releasing it, it's just like, whoop, and the whole beer is just inside you like this. It's crazy.
That sounds nice.
Everyone knows that you should never write down your crimes, and you especially shouldn't record your crimes on film. And if you don't know that you shouldn't write down your crimes, there's actually I don't know if I'll have any left. So I did make a coin, a casual criminalist coin, which people can get their hands on, but we probably don't have any more by now, so I'm sorry. Everyone except for dumbass teenagers, that is, and also like half of the criminals we cover on Casual Criminalist. In June 2023, a minor teenager attempted to go viral by recording himself shotgunning a twisted tea with the aid of a baby alligator and posting it on social media. I assume twisted tea is some sort of alcoholic iced tea, and all I can say to that is I like alcohol and I like iced tea. Twisted tea sounds good. For any teetotalers out there who have no idea what that means, shotgunning a drink, usually beer, is a way to chug it as fast as possible. God, I'm such a big brain. You puncture a hole in the bottom of the can with a key or a knife or whatever, place your mouth over the hole, and then open up the tab at the top of the can. This lets air flow freely into the can, allowing the liquid to pour out much faster than it would be if you tried to drink it like a normal human being. I wish I had a can drink. I used to drink a lot of Coke Zero, but now that Gamer Sups regularly sponsor me, I have just been drinking Gamer Sups because I don't have to pay for it. And even if I did, it's way cheaper than Coke. And it just comes out of the tap because it's just a powder that you mix. And I'm like, this is legit. It's pretty great. It's logistically more difficult, but you can also drink from the normal opening and use the new one to let air into the can. Now, that's a weird way to do it. And that's what the kid in this video was doing. But instead of a set of keys or a knife, he used a baby alligator to create a new hole at the bottom of the can. I know this is like Florida as shit, but also, this is pretty cool, dude. Like, I'm a 37-year-old man, but I can appreciate this. Of course, it's unclear how effective this would have been, allowing air into the can, since the gator was still clamped onto it while the kid was drinking. This is incredibly stupid for a number of reasons. First, you're posting your crimes online, including underage drinking and animal abuse. I'm like, wait, what's the crime? Is underage drinking actually a crime, or is buying alcohol? I think it is a crime, right? It is a crime to actually be drinking underage in the US. In the UK, I'm pretty sure it's just you can't buy alcohol. If someone's bought it for you and you're just chilling out and drinking it, that's fine, pretty sure. But possibly, more importantly, you're willingly holding an alligator's face up close to yours without having it restrained in any way. Baby gator or not, that's just asking to have your face bitten off. Once the drink was empty, the kid dropped the alligator onto the scorching hot Florida pavement of the Hardee's parking lot where they were filming. The gator hit the ground and appeared stunned rather than running away, behavior which the president of the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, FWC, believed indicated that the animal had probably suffered a fair amount of abuse before this incident. Where did they just... Are these just like roaming around Florida? Can you just pick up a like baby alligator and use it to like shotgun a drink? I assumed it was like his pet baby alligator or something. The teen in the video was arrested and charged with animal cruelty, and the gator was released into a nearby pond. According to the Orlando Weekly, here's hoping it stays away from bored teenagers in the future. Classic victim blaming. This newspaper also noted that this wasn't even the first time they had reported on something exactly like this. In fact, Florida men, including adults, appear to be using gators as can openers on a pretty routine basis. Again, like, sometimes Florida is just based.
What just happened?
I don't know.
A quick search pulls up multiple different instances of this happening, with the most recent one being just last week at the time of writing. Kevin, I know I'm not supposed to enjoy this, but I enjoy that one. I would like to see that. I would like to see someone open a beer with a crocodile or an alligator or whatever the fuck. I'm not from Florida. I don't know the difference. Florida man makes beer run with gator in hand. It's probably not surprising that a lot of Florida man stories involving gators also involve alcohol. Actually, it's not surprising that Florida man stories in general involve alcohol. Back in July of 2018, Florida man Robbie Stratton decided that he needed to make a beer run, but running errands alone can be boring, so he brought along some friends, a camera, and a live alligator. Unlike the previous story, this wasn't a baby alligator either, though fortunately its mouth was taped shut. Robbie entered the Jacksonville liquor store carrying the gator under his arm. Aren't alligators pretty big? Like an adult alligator? In my mind, they're like bigger than a person. That's probably not true, right? They're probably a bit smaller than that. Wait, is it crocodiles that are big or alligators that are big? I thought alligators were the big ones. It doesn't matter. Let's move on. He goes up to the counter and says, "Y'all still got beers here? Y'all still got beers? Y'all ain't out, are you?" Okay, it's a liquor shop. Of course they have beer. After looking down the aisle toward the back of the store where another man was grabbing some beer, he said,
"Are you taking the last bit of the beers? Come here, bring your ass."
I don't know how Florida people sound, and then started chasing after the man while pointing the gator's mouth in his general direction. It was reported the people in the store were laughing while this was happening, but it's worth noting that all those people laughing were Robbie's friends who had come along for the beer run and were filming his antics. I suspect the guy being chased by the lunatic with a gator didn't find the humor in it. Anyway, Robbie then entered the refrigerator section and grabbed a 12-pack of beer, which is where the video ends, though all evidence suggests that he and his friends paid for their beer and left peacefully. After the video went viral, Robbie was naturally contacted by the FWC, who didn't find all of this nearly as funny as he did and his friends did. In a follow-up interview conveniently conducted outside a liquor store, Robbie revealed that he was facing charges from the FWC. A newscaster asked, "You were under the influence at the time, possibly?" No fucking shit, dude. To which Robbie replied, "Sure, a lot of the influence."
This store sells some good liquor, and I drank a lot of it that night.
Again, Robbie's kind of a legend. Before adding, "It's not like I'm chasing Grandma down at Publix with it or something." Now that's certainly true, and this could have been a lot worse, but it was still a stupid idea. He was ultimately sentenced to 2 days in jail, 20 hours community service, and was ordered to make a $100 donation to the FWC. Is it a donation if you are ordered to make it, though? But did Robbie learn his lesson from all of this? Of course he didn't. As he put it, Facebook's been giving me either nothing but love or nothing but hate, and I see a whole lot more love than I do hate. So think about that. Yeah, but dude, you had to spend 2 days in jail and do 20 hours of community service. That doesn't sound like a good time. I hate to admit it, but that drunken idiot sure makes a good point. Florida man steals gator to teach it a lesson. Obviously, there are a lot of alligators in Florida, about 1.25 million of them. I don't know if that's a lot. How many people live in Florida? And quite honestly, they've had it good for too long. That was certainly the opinion of 32-year-old Florida man William Hodge, a fisherman from Daytona Beach shores. And in July of 2021, he decided it was time to put those reptiles in their place. Of course, the gator he chose was located inside an enclosure at Congo River Golf and Exploration, a mini golf course that also let people feed and hold live alligators. Only in Florida would you go like, "Yeah, I'm playing some mini golf and going to pet the alligators." I mean, what the actual fuck, Florida? Seeing as the alligator in question had already been enslaved by humans, I think it's fair to say that it had already been put in its place. It's literally living in a cage. Literally. Then again, this went down just after 3 a.m. on Thursday morning, so I think it's fair to say that William was probably exceptionally drunk and or high. Based on his mugshot, I'm definitely going to go with high. Is he one of these meth boys? You're like, look at his face, he's got no teeth. You can look at someone and be like, fuck, meth, dude. Hell of a drug. After stealing the alligator from the mini golf course, William proceeded to give it some good old-fashioned bullying. Police observed him swing the alligator by its tail into a building, throw it on the ground, then stomp on it twice. This got really fucking dark really suddenly. It's not like a little bit of abuse when he's opening a can of beer or something. He is just full-on abusing an animal. He also threw it once over his shoulder before picking it up and throwing it hard back to the ground. Dude is a psycho. Dude needs to be put on a list.
He's right, you know.
By the time the police were able to intervene, William was unsuccessfully trying to throw the alligator onto the roof of a crocodile bar. It says cocktail bar. I just can't read. Because why not? Once confronted, he immediately dropped the gator and put his hands up so he could be arrested. Rather than trying to deny abusing the alligator, he instead told them that he was teaching it a lesson. But while the alligator was safely returned to prison, home, William's night wasn't over yet. He was unsurprisingly taken into custody, where his actions give us a little more insight into his mental state. While waiting in the holding cell, William deliberately clogged the jail cell toilet with balled up toilet paper, then repeatedly flushed it. Bro be so high. His stated goal was to flood the whole place, presumably meaning the entire police station. Dude, you had a hell of a night, my son. Like, what's going on with you? So like I said, he was probably high out of his mind. But I mean, good for you, William, not for attacking an alligator for no reason. You're a piece of shit for doing that. But good for you for reaching for the stars. Naysayers and conventional wisdom would say that you can't possibly flood an entire police station just by repeatedly flushing the toilet. Yeah, you chose to throw caution to the wind and try anyway. So what that it would take over 4... 450 flushes of a 3.5 gallon toilet to fill a room that was 6 feet cubed. And so what? The holding cells have bars instead of walls, meaning that you need to flood the entire building, not just a small cell. No. Not only did you attempt to do the impossible, but you did it while also telling the police that it was your plan, as if it was some sort of grandiose threat rather than a mild inconvenience for their janitor. William was charged with animal cruelty, injuring an alligator, unharmed burglary, petty theft, criminal mischief, and possession of an alligator. I can't find possession of an alligator is literally a crime. It's in the books as a crime. I can't find a follow-up, but seeing as he immediately admitted to all of his actions when confronted by the police, I think it's safe to assume that he was found guilty on all counts. Barefoot Florida man wrangles nuisance gator at fire station. This story happened just 2 days ago at the time of writing, but Florida man Mike Dragich, it was just another day at the office. There was an alligator that lives in the pond near a Jacksonville fire station, and it liked to come out of the water to say hi whenever somebody from the electric company came by to check on the nearby meter, which was apparently pretty often. On this occasion, the alligator made its way all the way inside the station, and that's where Mike took over. Confronting the gator while barefoot and unarmed, Mike successfully wrestled it to the ground, sat on it, and held its mouth shut while firefighters duct tape its mouth shut.
Oh my god, he's so goddamn cool!
This guy's a legend. I should probably explain in case anyone is unaware, and Simon hasn't explained it yet, the muscles an alligator uses to open its mouth are extremely weak. They use incredibly strong muscles to snap their jaws shut, but there's no reason for them to need to open them with such force. Oh, that's really... So if you're being attacked by an alligator, don't let it open his mouth. Just grab it around the face.
No.
This means that a person, or in this case some tape, can keep a gator's mouth closed with relative ease. The hard part is getting into a position where you can actually accomplish this, since a good-sized alligator will weigh at least a couple of 100 pounds. I told you they were big! And truly monsters won't weigh 500 pounds! They're massive! They're also deceptively fast and agile. Yeah, I've seen those videos of the alligators running. Really quick. So they can slam into you and fuck you up pretty good if you don't have them properly restrained. In Mike's case, by sitting on it. But like I said, this was just another day at the office for Mike, a professional gator hunter, also known as the blue-collar brawler. He has gone viral and several other times, such as when he took down an 8-foot-long alligator on a residential street, again while barefoot and only using his bare hands. Another video showed him going head-to-head with a 10-foot-long alligator, which would have weighed over 400 pounds, that had made its way into the grounds of an elementary school. Dude, Florida, man. Florida's scary. This time it was serious business, though, so he was wearing boots for the occasion and even used a catch pole. Mike's Instagram account is full of videos of him catching alligators like this, many of which have gone viral, and also a video of him baptizing someone in alligator-infested waters, because why not? I don't know, because of the extreme danger, maybe, mate? I don't know. A lot of the Instagram posts are sponsored, and there's even an ad he did for some energy drink I've never heard of called Jocko Go. Okay. In the ad, somebody tosses Mike an energy drink, which he then hits against an alligator's teeth, puncturing the can so he can shock on it. Because when you're a kid doing this is illegal, but when you're an adult, it's apparently a good way to make money. Also, it wasn't alcohol, so it wasn't even illegal. Florida man has something extra in her pants.
In your pants?
That's right. In my pants.
Oh, she does she? Our last story takes us to the city of Punta Gorda, which was much funnier when I misread it as Puta Gorda.
Gracias, puta.
I'm guessing this is some Spanish joke that I don't know.
Puta.
It was May of 2019, and a Punta Gorda police officer pulled over a pickup truck for what he believed was a routine traffic stop. The truck had blown through a stop sign, which, believe it or not, is still illegal at 3:30 in the morning, even if you're the only car on the road. Yeah, I mean, stop signs are typically there for a reason, because there might be a blind corner, or it's a road where people are often speeding. Why not just stop and not risk getting T-boned? Why not? I mean, you're not going to save that much time by just blasting through it. Inside was 22-year-old Michael Clemens and his 25-year-old passenger, Ariel Machan-Lacroix. When asked that, Machan-Lacroix is a hell of a surname. In fact, that's a whole hell of a name. Ariel Machan-Lacroix. Jeez. When asked what they were doing out so late, Michael explained that they'd been collecting frogs and snakes under an overpass. You got weird hobbies, mate. He then gave the sheriff's deputy permission to go and search the bags in his trunk. I'm really not sure what Michael thought was going to happen next, since he should have realized that what he said was a lie. Maybe he was so stupid that he genuinely didn't know what frogs looked like or something. It's impossible to say. All I can say is that when the deputy looked inside the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles backpack inside the truck, he rather appropriately found 42 turtles, one striped mud turtle and one softshell turtle. Okay. I don't see what the problem is. Are these like illegal or something? The officer then asked the couple if they had anything else, and Ariel reached inside her yoga pants and pulled out a 12-inch cock.
I was not ready for today.
No, she didn't. It was a 12-inch alligator. But admit it, Simon, you were going to say cock there whether I wrote it or not. I absolutely would have, Kevin. Cock. Michael and Ariel were each charged with possession of an alligator, possession of a softshell turtle, and possession of more than one turtle per day. What is that crime, Florida? It's more than one turtle per day. Also, softshell turtles sounds like like dinner. They each receive varying amounts of probation, community service, and forced donations to the FWC. Again, is it a donation if you're forced to do it? Considering how many Florida Man stories there are involving alligators, I'm starting to think that the FWC is funded entirely through court sentences rather than through taxes. This was already a pretty silly story, but the best part was the early news coverage. The details of the incident were known, but there weren't any pictures of Michael or Ariel yet. There was one picture of the turtles and another of the alligator, and realistically, that should have been enough. It wasn't a particularly long story, and if there aren't any pictures or videos to show, then just keep the camera on the news anchors. Anchors are all photogenic for a reason, and stories like this are their time to shine. While most news stations agreed with me, NBC2 out of Fort Myers felt differently. The producers thought that their audiences were far too stupid to understand the complicated details and nuances of this story without visual aids. To that end, they put together a black and white recreation of a woman pulling a plastic alligator out of her yoga pants just to give the viewers at home some baseline understanding of what they were talking about. Why would you do this in Florida? Why? This is so weird. It's one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen on the news, second only to the part of that same story in which NBC2 interviewed the horniest elderly ladies in existence about the story, all of whom were making bestiality-themed jokes about why Ariel had the alligator in her pants.
Number two, you could go a lot of places with that.
So, I guess if you're looking to meet some gilfs who are DTF, Florida is the state for you. And only you. Although Florida sounds scary and why are so many alligators? Cock.